Lu Chen, and here is Tonya Harding, the talk of the morning. A nasty spill in practice. She landed on the ice and hurt her chin. You can see the bandage there. She slammed into the boards, hurt her arm, was carried off the ice, but here she is back to compete in the technical program, and she is a medal contender here.
Well, that was reminiscent of the collision that she had at the Olympic Games with Oksana Bayul before the event. A little tight on that double axel. Seems that every event we go to, something happens to Tonya.
Maybe it's in the name.
Good triple loop, double toe combination.
As you watch her jump on your screen, she's generally moving from left to right, and she is a reverse jumper, and that is part of the reason she's involved in so many accidents, is that when she's on a practice session, when she's on a warm-up, she's moving in the opposite direction to the balance of the field that's out there.
Starting to take over this ladies event. She walked into the World Championships last year, placed 7th for the first time. And now she may even have a shot at a medal.
And you know, Tonya Harding feels a whole lot better now than she did in her practice this morning.
Here we take a look at her double axel. A little tight right there. You see it's actually over-rotated, and she has to push the landing through. Here we see her combination, triple loop, nice air position, rechecks, plants the toe, up into the double toe. Clean combination.
And we'll have her marks when we return.
The mark for Tonya Harding, required element.
And we're back for waiting the required element mark. 5.3 below mark from the Canadian, Finnish, and Polish judges. Up to 5.5s for the 16-year-old grade 10 student who was 6th at the Olympic Games. Her coach, Peter Meyer. And now the artistic marks. And 9 first-place ordinals. So the bandage on the chin, but she was able to put it all back together. And a good technical program for Harding. Some last-second instructions from her father, Nobuo Sato, and now Yuka Sato, the Japanese champion, is ready to head out onto the ice. And she is one of the gold medal contenders here. She won her pool in qualifying. And the key will be to get through this technical program. She singled the Lutz at the Olympic Games, and that really set her back.
Well, I spoke to Peter Dunfield, her coach, just prior to the warm-up. And he said there is major pressure on her because she's in her home country, but he said the biggest pressure here is the history that she has with this combination. about Yuka is her speed that she carries into these jumps. Makes it very exciting to watch. Good camel position on the spin.
Her feet go in this sequence. Footwork turning both directions, which shows a high degree of difficulty.
Well, the Japanese thought she'd be a threat here from the time she beat Nancy Kerrigan at Skate America to open the season, and she has lived up to expectations in this technical program.
Here we see that combination, triple Lutz, nice and straight, great arm position, took the time to get rebalanced, completes it nicely.
Here's her layback spin, nice arched back position.
And well centered.
Yes.
Back with her marks when we return to Japan. From the fans here as they look for some great marks, and they're going to get them 5.6 from the Polish judge up to 5.8. There's Peter Dunfield, her coach from the Gloucester Figure Skating Club, where she has trained in the past, but this year's something different. He spent the time in Japan with her. And the second set of marks up to a 5.9 from the Hungarian judge, and 9 first-place marks. She won her qualifying pool, and she is very much a threat here, Yuka Sato of Japan. Here's the former German champion, Marina Kielmann, who was beaten out by Katharina Witt for the final Olympic spot on the German team. She's 26 years of age from Dortmund, coming off her best world championship result last year, which was 6th. She's a tough competitor, and in this field, it's wide open for even her to be a medal contender.
Well, this warm-up group was most interesting because it truly represented the youth meetings of veterans. She was on this warm-up group with Michelle Kwan, who's but 13 years of age. Marina Kielmann is 26, twice as old.
Well, if ever there was a year for Marina, this is it. This is a jump she has a lot of difficulties with. Oh, very low on the landing, but she does it.
Marina has a history of appearing at major events with some sort of nagging injury. And upon her arrival here, I asked her if she was healthy, and she seemed thrilled to be at a major competition with no nagging injury. She said she felt really good.
Well, the technical program has been a minefield for her in the past. At the European Championship, she was 14th after the short program, 10th last year after the technical program in Prague. So she is feeling good about that.
Here's her combination, triple Lutz. You see her lean and break at the waist, but take the time to recheck her position so she can get the double toe in. Wasn't pretty, but she completed it.
And here's a look at one of her required spins. It's a layback spin. You see her go back. She doesn't get a great arch in her back. It's very well centered, though.
Marina's marks when we return.
The mark for Marina Kielmann.
4 times she has been a medalist at the European
Required
Championships,
element,
but
5-0,
never at the Worlds.
5-3,
Required element marks, 5.0 with the low mark from Finland, but 5 4s from Belgium and Hungary.
5-3. Thank you. Presentation.
Did some work last year with the former world champion from Canada, Donald McPherson. The presentation marks up to 5.5, and she has 6 third-place marks, actually a 7th and 8th as well, but Marina Kielmann is in 3rd place in this short program.
18番、ミッシェル・クワンさん、アメリカ、number 18, representing the
Well, what a year it has been for 13-year-old Michelle Kwan of the United States. We saw her win the World Junior title at Colorado Springs, a bronze medal at the U.S. Nationals, and she was the Olympic alternate through the entire Tonya Harding affair.
Well, you would think that the ups and downs of that roller coaster ride going into the Olympics would really be exhausting, but she's the type of girl that nothing seems to faze her.
In qualifying. Here she sets up for a combination, triple Lutz.
What a shame. Well, a lot of pressure riding on her shoulders as she is the only American lady skater competing in this event. Nicole Bobek failed to qualify.
Indicated that he felt that some of the difficulties she's been having are a result of the fact that he says she has grown considerably since Junior Worlds. And she was amazing in Junior Worlds in December because it was like she couldn't miss. We're just amazed at how she went through the week with such consistency.
Well, a key here for Michelle and for the American team is for her to get into the top 10, because if she doesn't, that means that only one woman goes to the World Championships next year.
And that's a long way from a sweep of the podium just 3 years ago.
as she finishes her program with the combination spin. The fall in the combination jump is going to cost her 0.5 right off the top.
Well, that's too bad because you can see that glorious potential she has, just 13 years of age, Michelle Kwan of the United States.
Here we see perhaps her best jump element, the double axel. Watch her land it, hit a nice controlled position, and give it a little bit of flair on the end.
Here's the left combination. She gets good height, but she isn't over top of her blade on the landing.
And we'll have the marks for Michelle Kwan when we return.
Mike, you came down.
Frank Carroll sorting out the flowers while Michelle Kwan waits for the marks, and the miss in the combination is reflected in the required element marks. 4-4 from the Finnish judge, 4-5 from France, but a couple of fives there. She said after qualifying, I wasn't happy with my skate. I had no guts. But she's a pretty gutsy 13-year-old. And the presentation marks go well up. She has a couple of fifth-place marks, but also an 11th and a 14th overall, 8th place for the 13-year-old from the States.
Marina Kielmann.